JIBCon, isn't it? It's good to be back. What do you want to talk about? Yes, you. You're standing in the microphone.
Hi. So my question for you is, the word Winchester, in my job, it has a specific meaning that predates supernatural by about 100 years. So I was just...
Wait, can you repeat the question? Sorry, there's a bit of paparazzi. I'm sorry. No cameras, no pictures, please.
The word Winchester, where I work, it has a specific meaning that predates supernatural by about 100 years, but it feels like it could be supernatural related. So my question is there a word or phrase or slang that you've learned at some point during your career which you find yourself using outside of work long after that job is over?
Yeah, the phrase motherfucker comes up often. Did you say, can you come closer to the microphone so I can hear you?
Yes, sorry.
Winchester?
Yes, Winchester.
What about it?
There's a specific meaning to it where I work, and
Where you work?
I'm in the Air Force.
Okay, what does it mean where you...
So it means when a fighter jet goes out on a mission, and it drops absolutely everything it has, it gives everything it possibly can, and it drops all its bombs, all its guns, and it comes back and it has nothing left because it's given everything it possibly can to its course. It comes back Winchester, and that's a term from World War I that we still use today.
Oh, okay. So you can then you use that as a slang term, meaning just like spent.
Yes.
Or, sure, like an empty shell.
Yeah.
Like the Winchesters. Got it. That's useful to know. Thanks. A useless, sort of, flaccid husk. Yeah. Got it. Thanks, that was a good, useful tidbit. So, was there something that I learned on Supernatural?
Or any other job you've done, like Stonehenge Apocalypse, because I loved you in that phrase.
Yeah.
Like a phrase or a word that you...
But it's a robot head, I think. I don't know that there, no, not really. We have little like movie isms, like phrases that we use on set, like copy that means I gotcha. I say that in regular life, and usually people basically know what I'm talking about, but often they don't. I mean, do you use the phrase Winchester? Speaking to civilians? No.
Yeah, like sometimes.
Really? So they just don't know what you're talking about? Yeah. That makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't have a better answer. Hi.
Hi, hello. My question is, because Cass didn't get to have to tell goodbye to Sam before he died, so I was wondering if Cass could tell anything to Sam before he died. What would you tell him?
Take care of your brother. Too soon. Sorry. Hi.
So we know your resume is one of your special skills, so I was wondering, do you have any special skills that you didn't add to your resume because you thought nobody's going to hire me for knowing how to do this?
Or knowing how to do this, things that I didn't put on my resume?
Yeah, for example, like touching the tip of your nose with your tongue. Random shit like that.
I can't touch my nose with my tongue.
Me neither.
Thanks for bringing that up. That's a source of joy for me. Is that something you can do?
No, I can do creepy stuff with my
You can do
fingers.
creepy stuff? That's okay. My son can pretty much pick his nose with his tongue. It's really gross. Yeah, I can do this. I can also do other creepy things with my tongue, but I won't talk about this.
Hey Misha, firstly, just wanted to say congrats on Road Food getting the Taste Award for both Fast Food and Travel Series.
Thank you.
Incredibly well deserved. My question is, going into season 1, I know you said that you wanted to explore how food brings people together, how we're more alike than we are different. If there were to be a season 2, is there anything that you would like to explore?
Well, I think so. I mean, we were using this sort of guidepost of a word, which was empathy, for the structure of season 1, which was basically like trying to understand the other, I think, in broad, abstract terms. But going into a second season, I think it would be more interesting to look for something a little bit more specific, which is common ground. In the United States, as many of you know, we're very polarized, and kind of, it's like we're on two opposing sports teams, and people who are on one side hate everything about people who are on the other side, and they don't even see each other as human anymore. It's become so polarized, and it's getting more and more extreme as time goes on because of various different apparatuses in our political system. So I'm kind of interested in finding the things where there's common ground and trying to expose those, because I think that's more interesting than how we're different, because everybody focuses on that, and ultimately focusing on the differences ends up driving people further apart. I think that when you find common ground and you discover a shared humanity, like, oh, well, you also like tacos, could be a good starting point. But then you start to form these little tendrils, these little bridges that can actually start to dissolve the polarity. And I don't know, I mean, there have been times in recent years in my country where it feels like we might be on the brink of a civil war. When the pandemic hit, felt like it might be a tipping point for us, like people might actually start killing each other. And we did have a lot of riots and a lot of big protests, and they got more violent than riots or protests have gotten in a long time. And I think that's because we have become so polarized that it's like it's exploding at the seams. So it feels somewhat urgent to me, and I feel like I'm poking around and try to find ways to be useful in that realm. But road food is a Trojan horse for me, because it's really not about food. It's about culture and society and politics and you know, learning about one another and bridging divides.
I think that's what makes it so important. So fingers crossed for season 2.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hope you're well. A couple of weeks ago, you posted a picture with a tie knot that you got from Jennifer May Nicol, and you never announced which one it was.
Yeah.
That wasn't very nice of me.
Yeah, you didn't know?
Do you know what it was?
I'm guessing it was the Eldridge tie knot.
Why are you guessing that?
Because I googled it.
Did you Google what knot was that Misha was wearing?
No.
You Googled, how did you Google it?
I googled tie knots and just looked through all of them.
And then you compared and contrasted it with the
Yeah.
answer. It was the Eldridge.
So you're gonna follow me or no?
That's the announcement. Yes.
No, don't. That's scary.
And living far away.
Shut up.
So at what?
No. Thank you. Bye.
So I actually don't want to embarrass her. What is her handle?
Living far away.
At living far away?
That's right.
Okay. At living far away. Can't wait. You might want to scrub your profile because I'm coming for you. Hi.
My question is also sort of about road food.
Okay.
We saw that recently it tied with Gordon Ramsay's show, which congrats about that.
Thanks. It would have been nicer to beat him, but
So since we have evidence that Mason and West are great cooks from, cooking with Mason and West, if you could bring them to a cook-off with Gordon Ramsay, what recipe would you pick? What would they pick?
what would they pick to cook?
Yeah.
Pasta with jam sauce, probably. It'll really stump him, I think.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hi, hold on, wait. There we go. I had a comment and a question about Bridgewater. So the comment is just, I really loved season 1. I haven't had a chance to listen to the new season, and you were so good. And honestly, I didn't expect an audio-only radio drama to carry me away as much as it did. So my question is, are you considering maybe doing more voice acting in addition to film acting?
I would love to do more voice acting. I found that way more satisfying than I thought I would. I was actually kind of nervous about it because I haven't really done much voice acting, and I thought it would feel artificial and be really challenging. And I got into the recording booth and I found it really natural and strangely liberating. I quite liked it. Yeah.
Please do more if more opportunities come your way.
Well, thank you.
Well, we have a chance to travel a lot and experience a lot of countries, cultures, and fans from different countries, of course. So I want to know, if you were not bound by family and your job, what country would you consider living in?
Living in?
Yes.
Oh shit, I haven't even allowed myself to think about that because I'm so bound by my children who are stuck in California. I don't know. I would love to live for some time with the kids in different places. So I would love to be able to take them to live with indigenous tribes in the Amazon for 6 months, or go live in New Zealand and shear sheep because it's just so beautiful. But I would love to be in a culture that feels very different from our own. I was listening to a podcast recently, and I don't remember what podcast or who said it, and so I should be doing a better job of crediting here. But someone was saying that we in the West think that all of civilization has been on this arc of progression that has culminating with this moment in time and our civilization. But in fact, there are 7,000 languages spoken on the globe, and each one of those languages represents the apex of a different culture that has also been evolving through time and evolving to this moment in time. And they all offer a panoply of different things that are absolutely enriching. And we are stuck on this idea that everybody should be trying to conform. I mean, I'm speaking as an American right now because I think we're the worst of it, but we're operating on this assumption that everybody should be trying to conform to our version of civilization, yes, and our vision for how an economy should operate and an education system should operate, and that everybody should speak English. As an American, I come here and I'm just like, speak English, people. I mean, it's terrible. And nobody in the US learns foreign languages. It's kind of terrible. So I'd love to spend some time in a wildly different culture. Because once you spend time in a very different culture and civilization, it starts to make you realize, oh, there's other options out there. We don't have to be like this. We can be different. It was very profound for me. I was fortunate to be able to travel a fair amount when I was younger. Not super young, but as soon as I could save the money to buy an around the world ticket, I spent a good amount of time in India and Nepal and Tibet and Bali and Thailand, and sort of traveled around the world. And it was, especially India for me, India was like, oh, wow, the world could be completely different. And I'd love to have my kids have that experience. And it's not the same as vacationing. You have to spend a solid amount of time somewhere to start to have that percolate into you, I think. Anyway.
Thank you.
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask, we haven't seen you in the lineup for JIB11 yet. Is there any chance you're going to make it? Do you know anything?
I have to just figure out when I can see my kids, and I haven't figured out my schedule for that yet. So if I have my kids at that time, I won't be able to come. So I'm just waiting to see what's going on with that schedule. Yeah, thanks. I would love to be back.
Hi. Hey. It's about a Bridge Runner. I'm a fan of Melissa Bonzio, and I wanted to know how it's like to work with her to record the show.
I think she was amazing. It was great, and it was great because my character and her character on the show got to like meet each other right around the same time that I was getting to meet her, and then the characters and we as actors sort of evolved along a trajectory. So it was really cool. But she's super talented, and it was a real treat working with her.
That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Misha. So, what's the story behind the Gucci jackets?
Daniela gave them to us as gifts, and I had it on last night because I was cold, and then Jensen was like, "Hey, what the? I have a jacket just like that." And then Jared was like, "Wait a minute, I have a jacket just like that." And so we accidentally discovered how not special we are. And then we thought it would be funny to wear them all together today. We did a lot of marketing for Gucci today.
You did. We appreciate it.
Hi.
Hi. Speaking of different cultures and languages, can you say zdravejte, which is in Bulgarian means hi?
Здравейте.
Zdravejte.
Здравейте. What?
Zdravejte.
Zdravейте.
Yes, that's great. Awesome, thank you.
That took a lot longer than it should have. I'm sorry. I just recorded a video in Ukrainian. Zelensky has a nonprofit that he's trying to get donations from abroad for Ukrainians, but he also broadcast on state TV a message from a bunch of celebrities, including myself. So yesterday on Ukrainian state TV, they broadcast this message of support to the Ukrainian people. And I was like, oh, well, you know what I think I'll do for this? I'll do it in Ukrainian. And I wrote something short, and then I found this app where you can get a translator. And so I had this Ukrainian woman on the app helping me translate. And then I had a little recording of her saying the dialogue. And it took me like 3 hours to say 2 sentences because the pronunciation was so difficult. And then it was like, I guess, broadcast on state TV in Ukraine, and I'm sure it's completely unintelligible. My accent is so bad that they can't understand what I'm saying.
It's okay, I saw it. You were amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it was. Could you really understand what I was saying? You're just saying that. Oh, that's good to hear. Thanks for. Thank you. Oh, they said that I did it well? That was very charitable of them. Are you living in Ukraine now?
No, it's in Portugal because of the war.
Did your family move from Portugal, or?
Just my sister and my nephew.
Where were you living?
Near Lisbon.
No, in Ukraine.
Dnipro.
Where is that?
It's east.
Eastern. Oh, okay. Well, sorry for what's happening to your country. Sincerely hope that it doesn't go on forever. I hope we can find an end to this. I hope that there can be some treaty at some point. It's really heartbreaking to see.
We hope so.
Yeah. Send me love. You know, when we have little periods of peace, like Europe saw since World War II, you start to develop hope. Like maybe we're evolving past this. Maybe we don't have to fight wars anymore. but history keeps proving that there's something in the hardwiring of governments that they just can't keep peace. It's really heartbreaking. It's awful to feel so powerless to like, try to figure out what the hell we can do from afar. But there are little things that we can do, I keep reminding myself, if everybody just tries to do some small thing, it will add up to making a big difference. But we have to see ourselves as like little pieces in a grander puzzle here. Anyway.